We often think our health is pretty much a done deal, locked into our DNA, like we're just playing the hand we were dealt. But what if I told you the food we eat is constantly sending messages to our genes? Today, we're diving into this incredible idea that our food choices literally create an environment inside our bodies that can either invite disease or fight it off. Okay, let's start with a number that might just shock you. Up to 90% of cancers could be preventable. Now hold on, this isn't about blame. It's the exact opposite, actually. It's about empowerment. It means we have way more control over our long-term health than we ever thought possible. It completely flips the script on that old idea that it's all just bad genes and bad luck. This quote right here, it's a total game changer. It reframes cancer as not just a problem with your genes, but a problem with your metabolism, with the whole environment inside your body. Suddenly, the conditions inside of us matter a lot. So, the big question is, how do we influence those conditions? Well, that brings us right back to food. For decades, we've been programmed to think about food in one way: calories. It's just fuel for the engine, right? But it's time for a major perspective shift. We have to start seeing food for what it really is. It's powerful information. Every single meal sends a whole cascade of signals to our cells, telling our genes how to act. This really breaks it down. That old view of food as just fuel, it's kind of passive, isn't it? But this new view, seeing food as information, well, that's active. That puts you squarely in the driver's seat. It means you can consciously choose the signals you send your body. And that changes everything. And this whole idea has a pretty cool name: nutritional epigenetics. It's the actual science of how the nutrients in our food act like little light switches, turning our genes on or off. Here's the thing: you can't change the genes you were born with, but you can absolutely influence which ones get expressed. So, if our food creates an internal environment, what kind of environment does cancer actually like? I mean, it doesn't just grow in a vacuum. It really thrives when a few specific conditions are consistently met inside the body. So, what exactly is a pro-cancer environment? What are the conditions that allow one of those abnormal cells to not only survive, but actually start to multiply and thrive? Let's break it down. The research really points to 4 key pillars here, and these are so important because they all represent a breakdown in our body's natural defense systems. First, you've got unregulated growth signals. Think of it like a gas pedal that's stuck to the floor. Second, chronic inflammation, which is like a constant low-level fire that just wears everything down. Third, a weak immune system, meaning the security guards are asleep on the job. And fourth, direct damage to our DNA. These are the conditions we can actually do something about. And here's something absolutely crucial to understand. Mutations happen all the time. That's just normal biology. Your immune system is literally designed to do what's called immune surveillance. It's constantly patrolling, finding these weird cells, and taking them out. So the problem isn't usually the mutation itself. The problem is when the environment lets that cell slip past the guards and start growing. Okay, now let's connect those 4 conditions to the foods a lot of us eat every single day. This is where all this information becomes super practical and real.
Let's just look at the kinds of signals certain foods are sending. Sugary drinks are basically shouting "grow" at your cells. Processed and high-salt foods, they're a recipe for chronic inflammation. Alcohol is a really nasty 1-2 punch. It weakens your immunity while it's also damaging your DNA. And even things like charred foods can introduce chemicals that directly harm our DNA's blueprint.
Let's just zoom in on sugary drinks for a second. See, cancer cells are absolute sugar fiends. They burn through glucose like crazy. So when you drink that liquid sugar, your blood sugar and insulin go through the roof. That in turn triggers the release of a powerful growth hormone called IGF-1. So you're basically delivering rocket fuel and a loud and clear signal to grow at the exact same time. It is the absolute perfect storm for a cancer cell. Now with processed foods, it's not just about the harmful things they add, like excess salt that drives inflammation. It's also about what they take away. When your diet is full of packaged goods, it crowds out the very foods that build your defenses. The antioxidant-rich vegetables, fiber-filled fruits, and lean proteins. You end up missing out on the crucial nutrients your immune system desperately needs. Yep, the science on alcohol is pretty clear. It is a Group 1 carcinogen. And here's why it's such a triple threat. First, it directly weakens your immune system. Second, the byproducts your body creates when it breaks down alcohol are directly toxic to your DNA. And then, to make it all worse, it gets in the way of your body's natural ability to repair that very same damage. Okay, so after hearing all of that, it would be really easy to feel overwhelmed or to think you have to be absolutely perfect from now on. But that is not the goal.
The real goal is to shift our whole mindset to a strategy that's sustainable for the long haul.
You've got to remember this. Your risk isn't decided by one meal or one bad food you ate. It's shaped by the overall pattern of signals you send your body day after day, week after week. It's the consistency of the message that truly matters.
And that's really the ultimate goal here, right? To use this knowledge to be strategic. The whole point is to make daily choices that create an internal environment where inflammation is low, your immune system is sharp, and your DNA is protected. An environment where cancer is suppressed, not given a chance to get started.
So I'll just leave you with this one thought. If every single bite of food you eat is a piece of information sent directly to your genes, what message are you going to send your body today?